The details of this incident will be slightly less than we normally give.
Today on the Morning Edition, it's been a week of questions, many unanswered after an officer fired a shot during what turned out to be a deadly traffic stop. Why the community is calling for more police oversight. And later in Capitol coverage, with just days left in session, lawmakers in Juneau scramble to beat the clock and strike a deal on spending and school funding for Alaskan students. Plus, a rare and wild sight as nurses and patients get front row seats to a true Alaskan delivery. A mama moose brings new life into the world right on the lawn. As the Morning Edition starts now. Good morning, everyone. We've made it to Friday. How sweet is that? Did you see that? She went to Providence. She went to a hospital to give birth.
No better place to do it. And I mean, you see it more and more often with that wildlife. They want to find a nice, safe place to deliver their baby.
And she absolutely
It really is a
did.
Phenomenal video, and we'll have that for you coming up. But as far as this morning for Bike to Work Day, we are going to see a little bit in the way of some drier conditions across South Central. Those cloudy conditions, they are still with us across the region. Like we did see yesterday, there is the possibility we could see some sunshine breaks. Of course, today we'll see a better opportunity than yesterday as we will be a lot drier across South Central. Those temperatures are sitting in the lower 40s. 43 is where we're currently sitting at. Winds will not be an issue today across South Central. We'll see a lot calmer conditions, and those rain showers only becoming more spotty to isolated in nature. 45 in Talkeetna, 42 degrees in Valdez. We've got that rain really staying or holding out towards coastal regions of the Kenai. We're expected to see a lot lighter activity today across the vast majority of South Central, but we'll still keep that chance that we could see a stray shower building into inland areas of South Central. But like we've been seeing for most of this week, the better opportunity will be the farther south that you live across the Kenai, Prince William Sound, and of course coastal regions of the Gulf Coast, where we're going to continue to hold on to that chance for some rain. So this unsettled weather has been with us for really several weeks now. We've seen ample opportunities for some dry time, but the overall trend continues to favor that we're going to see these cloud covers and that daily chance for some rain. We'll see temperatures today warming into the mid to upper 50s, so a nice day to grab that bike, maybe bike into work. You could be dodging a drizzle possibility or some showers throughout the first part of the day into the afternoon, but overall expecting some dry conditions to remain with this, and those temperatures still slowly warming across South Central. And we're going to see these temperatures likely next week in the mid to upper 50s. Gulf showers, though, they will stay with us. We'll be watching additional rounds of some rain into the weekend, and of course those breakup conditions across the state. We do have a flood watch for the Buckland River. I'll have more on that and those details in that 7-day coming up.
Yeah, I don't think that's a necessary need here in Anchorage. And really the one thing that I go back to over and over again is, you know, we have a relatively high sustained rate when we have complaints from the public and we do investigations.
That was Anchorage Police Chief Sean Case last week. Case claiming a civilian oversight committee here in Anchorage is unnecessary, then waking up Monday morning to this deadly shooting. In this morning's top story, pressure is mounting in the wake of the deadly police shooting on Burgaw Street. Community advocates are renewing calls for a civilian oversight board. Questions continue to swirl over what body camera footage actually shows. Anchorage police confirmed that 41-year-old Utuva Alealua was the man killed. Police say he was reaching for a gun, but the chief admits blurry video and low light make it hard to see. Now, some say that's exactly why independent accountability is needed.
If we had something like a civilian review board or a public safety commission with somebody who had the right to look at that body camera before the public, then there would be somebody to answer the questions.
Local advocacy groups, including the Alaska Black Caucus and the Party for Socialism and Liberation, are calling for a citizen review board in Anchorage. They say it would increase police accountability and transparency, especially after this week's deadly officer-involved shooting. APD declined to answer questions, saying they plan to address the shooting in a press conference next Wednesday. APD policy allows up to 45 days to release body camera video from critical incidents, but that deadline can be extended by the chief. For extended interviews, including the full interview with Chief Case, head on over to our website. You can also find longer versions on our streaming platforms. Turning now to Capitol coverage, with the final day of the legislative session less than a week away, lawmakers in Juneau still haven't locked in a budget or education spending plan. Senate Bill 57 remains in limbo after being sent back to the Senate, but members say they're feeling the pressure to finish the job and deliver a compromise in time.
We have some unique challenges here for cost and infrastructure that other states don't. And we do have to think about that and account for it, because we're not going to be able to do everything. We simply can't afford it.
Between lower oil prices, shrinking federal dollars, and rising costs, lawmakers are taking a more cautious approach to this year's capital budget. The current proposal includes just under $168 million in general fund spending, a sharp drop from the $750 million approved just 2 years ago. SB 57 sets aside limited dollars for projects statewide, with most discretionary spending off the table. Lawmakers are using creative funding sources to cover essential needs, including matching requirements to unlock billions in federal aid, like $57 million for the Department of Transportation. Again, the state session deadline is May 21st. The 2026 Alaska Teacher of the Year says he's honored, humbled, and still loves every minute of his work. Pete Daly, who teaches welding at Hutchison High School in Fairbanks, was recognized this week for his more than 2 decades of service. He says seeing students build careers in the trades is what keeps him inspired, and he's grateful to play a role in helping them chart their futures.
There's a little more gravitas now, and with that, it's almost kind of like it's mission critical now. Like, now I understand, like, even better that I have a focus to impact even more students. So to get them challenged, to get them engaged, to allow them to understand their why, so they have a goal in mind and they can see a future for themselves. And these are the steps that are going to get them there. That's kind of the what and how of how we're going to achieve this. So it's more than just me. I work with a lot of great coworkers. There's fantastic teachers here who could be sitting in my spot. I'm no better than they are.
Daly will now represent Alaska on the national stage, competing with educators from across the country for the title of National Teacher of the Year. When students at Stellar Secondary School signed up for a 2-week intensive course, they weren't expecting to build nesting rafts or ID gulls in the sky, but that's exactly what they got in this hands-on birding class. As Lauren Maxwell shows us, the experience is taking learning to new heights.
He's under the water.
Stellar Secondary students are keeping their eyes trained on the land and on the sky.
It is so majestic.
Students like Violet Borstad are taking part in what's called an intensive.
That gull, I think it's a mew gull. It was standing right there.
A 2-week period to take a deep dive into a single topic. And in this case,
Northern pintails, a few loons, golden eyes.
the topic is birds.
Everyone wants to be here. They had 14 other choices of classes, and they picked this one. So they want to be birders.
Teacher Joe Jackson says he's been surprised
Did you know that northern goshawks, when they're born, their eyes are yellow, but over time their eyes turn red?
at how quickly students like Katie Pitka have taken to the task.
Yeah, they're all mugles.
Mugulls?
Mugulls, yeah.
Before this class, I don't feel like many of them, could tell a black-capped chickadee from a boreal chickadee, for instance. And now they're out here, you can see them. They're super jazzed to be looking at different birds.
Magpie. We've been blessed with good luck by the magpie overlords.
The intensive includes a lesson in citizen science. Last week, students built a raft for a nesting pair of Pacific loons. The raft was launched on Connors Lake by the dog park. Within hours, it was in use.
As soon as we got to the lake, the loons instantly flying over it and getting ready to nest. And then the day after we left, they already started building their nest on it. So it's really, really cool.
These students are learning to appreciate nature by stepping out of the classroom.
It's cool, I like cranes.
To see the world that is all around them. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
Just a reminder, May is May No Child Go Hungry Month, our annual campaign in Fairbanks to support the local food bank there. It's a joint effort by our Fairbanks stations, KTVF, KXDF, and KFXF, to make sure children don't go without meals this summer. In Alaska, 1 in 8 children face food insecurity. That need only grows when school meals are no longer available during the summer break. To donate or get involved, scan the QR code right there on your screen, or visit our Fairbanks website. The campaign runs through the end of the month. Up next on the Morning Edition, he may not be able to see the road, but that's not stopping one Alaskan from riding toward a big goal. How a surprise tandem bike is helping him chase 2,000 miles this season, and why it's proof that with the right support, anything is possible. Plus,
the White House is touting major deals as President Trump wraps up his trips in the Middle East. I'm Jared Hill with a look at some of the agreements and loose ends left behind.
Still holding on to some lingering showers across South Central, but we're seeing a lot drier conditions and possible sunshine peaks. I'll have more on that, but first at sunrise, coming in at 5:08 in Anchorage, 5:59 in Bethel. Your full forecast is next.
well, we've all seen bears tear into trash bins, but look at this. This Mother's Day, it was a much smaller critter getting into the garbage at the Alaska Zoo. Check out Dr. Dre, the squirrel, busting into a tiny sealed trash can like a furry little foodie. Video from a recent Bear Aware event shows him dragging the mini cans, popping them open, and going full nibble mode on some hidden snacks. So while you're keeping an eye out for bears, you might want to be squirrel aware too. Unless you have full-size trash cans, then you're probably okay. Where did they get those little mini trash cans, Aaron? Those are so cute.
I don't know, but there's something about miniature scale of anything that certainly makes it look a lot more awesomer than of course, the full-scale version.
And it makes the squirrels look huge, right?
Dr. Dre just sitting there enjoying those nuts coming in out of the trash bins. If you are heading out and about later today, we will see somewhat drier conditions, some possible peaks of sunshine. We are expected to continue to hold on to at least some chances of some rain. Mid to upper 40s out towards southeast. We've got those temperatures along the slope sitting in the teens out towards Kotzebue. We're at 35 degrees. We do have some sunshine as you head farther north. Meanwhile, the southern coastline continues to hold on to that cloud coverage. We've got our area of low pressure situated across northeastern parts of the Gulf of Alaska. That is keeping some of that light rain with us. And of course, this low that has been pushing northwest across the Alaska Peninsula, that continues to weaken. But we're still seeing some spotty showers out towards parts of southwest Alaska, areas of the Yukon Delta this morning, seeing more in the way of a light drizzle, if not some wintry mix to start off your Friday morning. Looking at the upper level pattern, we've got our jet stream well to the south, which means most of the active weather is going to stay well south of Alaska. With that being said, we are still seeing these areas of weak low pressures to the north of the jet stream, but not expecting any significant weather. Those areas of low pressure will gradually fizzle out. With that being said, we will watch for the potential for a chance for some showers as we welcome in our Saturday. We're only going to call it about some scattered potential as we welcome in Saturday for South Central. So we're still holding on to a chance for at least some rain, but by no means will we see widespread activity like we did see earlier this week. As far as areas out towards western Alaska, by Saturday morning, you can see rain and possibly some areas of rain, snow out towards parts of the Seward Peninsula. So we're still holding on to some of that unsettled weather. If you want some sunshine, you're likely going to have to head through parts of the interior as well as the slope, but we will still see the potential for some of that sun sticking around in the forecast. We'll make it into the mid-50s later today. We may see some sunshine breaks, a couple of hours looking possible with those temperatures easily managing to climb in the mid-50s for inland areas, while coastal regions likely stay in the lower 50s. Now, while we're largely going to continue to remain on the dry side, we will keep that unsettled weather with us. Those weak areas of low pressure, which will keep at least some isolated to scattered rain showers with us for the foreseeable future. Of course, per usual, our better chance will be for coastal areas, but we will see the potential for inland locations to see at least a passing shower or two. Out towards southeast, up to a half an inch of rain looks possible today with those temperatures warming into the low to mid 50s. Across South Central, we'll warm once again into into the 50s, although slightly cooler for coastal regions, but we'll see that better shot for overcast skies and that rain. 54 degrees in Golcana, 48 in Whittier. The Valley expected to see a decent opportunity for highs to climb into the upper 50s later this afternoon. Breezy conditions not looking likely today across South Central. Max winds may peak at about 15 miles per hour. We'll make it to 56 in Anchorage, 51 degrees in Girdwood. And looking at that 7-day forecast, very slow warming. We'll see daily highs staying in the mid to upper 50s. Of course, that chance for some showers into our Saturday, and then we'll watch another shot as we welcome in next week. Again, largely expecting most of that rain for coastal regions. And this is going to be really just kind of isolated to scattered activity, nothing really organized or widespread over the next week.
Thanks, Aaron. Sometimes the best way to move forward is to ride together. One Alaskan is proving vision loss can't slow him down. Thanks to determination, a new tandem bike, and a team that believes in making adventure accessible to everyone. Here's Ariane Aramburo with this morning's Health Watch.
Nice day. A little loud from the highway.
Whether he's on ice skates or gliding down a snowy trail,
Into the wilderness.
Bryce Gitson doesn't sit still for long. Adventurous and determined, that's how he lives his life. And that also includes life on two wheels.
First ride of the year for me.
For Bryce, there's a special kind of freedom when he rides, a connection to the world that goes beyond what you can see.
Seeing as that I was born blind and I have progressive eye condition, my sight is continually dwindling.
Yet he hasn't let that stop him from following a passion he's had since he was a kid.
I was probably 8 or 9, and I was biking with the family, and I biked directly into a stop sign. I fell over, and I got up, and I said, "Who put that there?"
It's that carefree spirit that keeps Bryce moving forward. He doesn't dwell on what he's lost. He focuses on what's still possible.
Tandem biking is something I just love it. My goal this year is to bike 2,000 miles. So far, I'm about 250, so making my way through that nicely. And this bike will just facilitate that even more.
Bryce's new tandem bike was an unexpected surprise from Challenge Alaska after the nonprofit received a $50,000 grant to buy adaptive sports equipment.
Everybody needs to recreate. Everybody needs to be physically fit and things like that. For Alaskans with disabilities, there's a significant increased price associated with the cost to play. Adaptive equipment can cost up to 15 times more expensive than its standard counterpart,
leaving less time for worry and more time to unlock possibility.
Being able to have that access to recreate on your timetable, it is definitely something that people take for granted. It's something that we all don't think about, we just do it. And when he has a piece of equipment like this, it opens the door to just that spontaneous, and recreation should be spontaneous, it should be fun. When the opportunities arise, we should be able to just grab it and go.
Because in Bryce's world, you don't have to always see the road to enjoy the ride.
Oh man, it's good to be alive.
Ariane Aramburo, Alaska's News Source. You've been listening to the Alaska's News Source podcast. Subscribe to have the latest episodes delivered to your library automatically.